I just think the honesty and the openness on the internet is really going to win in the future. I try to be as honest and open with you guys as possible. Sometimes I feel like I might flex a little bit. You know, I'm like, yeah, I got Grammy nominated work and Oscar nominated. It's like, but you guys, like, sometimes you feel like you have to say that stuff on YouTube and online because there's so many fake ass motherfuckers out there. What's a pop star? Does that even exist? I think that'll be the question in 2030. We're headed down a path of everybody's famous for their 2 minutes, right? And what is fame? And why is that even a thing that people want in the music industry anymore? I want to talk about this. I think this is a really, really interesting subject, and I'm still wondering why people are chasing clout on the internet. So, the Radium Podcast, episode 96. Here we go. All right, so I really thought about this a lot lately, just because I started, noticing that people still model what happened in the rock star, pop star world back in 2000, right? Like, they're still doing that same shit. They're like posing on cars, they're showing money off on Instagram, and the music videos are just, there's no creativity to them. I think even the 90s had better and more creative music videos than anything out today, which is really sad considering the technology and what we have and how far we've come with technology, computer technology. The art is actually becoming less and less interesting, I think it's because it kind of spawned from the Foo Fighters. I was watching the Foo Fighters documentary, Back and Forth, I think it's called. And they were talking about, how they kind of made their name and branded themselves with the music videos, because they made these goofy ass music videos where they dress up in costumes. And you remember, like, Dave Grohl was on the plane. He was the stewardess, and then he was the captain, and they're making goofy faces and shit. And it was fun. They had like the Mentos commercial sort of music video that actually won, I think, an MTV Video Music Award or a Grammy even. I think it was the Video Award. Don't quote me on that. But I started thinking about this and I was like, wow, what is a rock star? What's a pop star anymore? Like, is that even important? And why is everybody still chasing that idea? Like, they want to be famous. They want to be cool, right? And I was like, what is cool today? Why are you posing like you're trying to be cool like it's 2002 and you're Lil Wayne? Like, times have changed, you guys. You're sitting on a laptop on your M1 MacBook Pro, computer hacking some tracks together and then rapping through a microphone you bought for $100 in your bedroom. That's not a rock star. That's not a pop star thing. That's not cool. That's not glamorous. There's nothing glamorous about it. And also, just like, let's be really clear here. I think a lot of the rock stars, quote unquote, or pop stars of the days, even like back in the days, I don't think they were really necessarily chasing fame and stardom and trying to be pop stars or rock stars. I think that they loved music and they somehow became really popular and people started showing up at their shows, and started with 100 people, then 300 people, then 500 people. And then all of a sudden they're selling out stadiums with, 25,000 people in them. And it was overwhelming. And it was like, God, I just want to play music and I love music and I want to write songs. And then all of a sudden the pressure came on and they're famous, like a lot of people didn't want to be famous in music. Now I'm disregard the fact I'm not talking about like Backstreet Boys and the boy band era and the girl band era and stuff, but what a funny time, right? The Britney Spears eras and shit. I grew up in that, right? Like, I was a teenager in those times, like 18, 19 years old when all that shit was happening. But yeah, I just think that everybody on social media and online is kind of doing it weird. It's sort of like, look at me, I'm bigger than life, I'm larger than life. And it's like, what? No, you just like made a song and uploaded it to DistroKid. Like, you made a song in your bedroom and uploaded it to DistroKid. Like, you're not larger than life. Not only that, like, I don't think people really care about that perceived you're famous or not anything anymore, unless you're trying to pander to the bottom 5% of the world or some random people that don't really know what the internet is, which God, I can't even imagine that there's many of those people left on the earth, let alone just in the States, like in the United States, right? So I just wanted to kind of get on the podcast today and talk about that, and just kind of have you thinking a little bit about how you put yourself out there online. And to make this a little bit more valuable, kind of give you my opinion on maybe something you should do instead of trying to be really dope, or, you know, everything's so cool and larger than life and spending money you don't have. And I'm not just talking about rappers here. I'm talking about all people trying to make it, fake it till you make it in the music industry, as artists, where they have 1 to 5 to 10 tracks out, and they're shooting music videos with red cameras and spending money on clothes and lights and running Facebook ads, because, you know, all these YouTubers are telling you to run Facebook ads. Like, do you know what kind of money it would take you to really make an effect with Facebook ads with your music? Like a real effect. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So I would rather say to you that, in my opinion, you should really focus on the music. You should focus on creating and crafting records that not only you're proud of, but you can show to somebody in the music industry that's been here for just a little while, has some success in the music industry, and can say, this is great. Like, I can see a lot of potential in this. Not just you and your friends and your group, your parents, your mom, your dad, but really, truly people that have success and can show you the proof of it in music, that can give you that clarification and say, this is great, man. You know, what you're working on here is sounding really great. And I think you could, you know, keep stepping it up. Get the right team, hire the right engineer, work with people a little outside of your budget. So, you know, just don't follow all the bullshit that you hear online. Like, really, I really want to encourage you to stay away from that. And the reason being is because everybody's getting their information from 85,000 different sources. So you're watching like 25 different YouTube channels or 25 different YouTube opinions from guys and girls that have never, ever sold records in their lives. They're running Facebook ads. They're trying to run up streams, and they really just don't have any sort of success in the music industry. They may have a lot of success in YouTube and YouTube monetization and getting subscribers and running Facebook ads, and they work other jobs, and they're trying to tell you how to run and grow in the music business. And then they're selling you a marketing course on branding and marketing your music business for $300, you know. And like, I sell courses, so I'm not outside of that. I'm not better than that, but I sell courses and I sell things that I'm doing. Like, I'm working on client work that's paying me and showing you guys what I'm doing to make this client work, you know? So I just think the honesty and the openness on the internet is really going to win in the future. I try to be as honest and open with you guys as possible. Sometimes I feel like I might flex a little bit, you know? I'm like, yeah, I got Grammy nominated work and Oscar nominated. It's like, but you guys, like, sometimes you feel like you have to say that stuff on YouTube and online because there's so many fake ass motherfuckers out there. And that's the truth. That's just the facts. Like, I can't sit here and lie to you guys. I can't be like, you know, telling you guys that I have a Grammy or I have an Oscar or you should listen to me or whatever. Like, I just want to share what's worked for me, what's made me money in music, what's built a career for me and continues to help me build a career in music. And I share that information openly, not only here on YouTube and on the podcast, but, you know, I share it on, I have an academy now online. It's the Radium Academy. Like, put up a bunch of master classes on mixing, mastering, production, all that stuff. And you can actually get 7 days free right here. See, that's a YouTube thing right there. But I want to be able to connect with people, and that's why I do that, right? And I want you guys to understand, like, the authenticity is what's really going to win. It's not going to be that, you know, people in the industry and where you want to be, or even like a little bit above you, can see right through the fact that you're just not that talented. You're not that great at rapping. You're not that great at singing. Your songs aren't that great. Your mixes aren't that great. You know, they hear right away where you're at. They're listening in the same kind of environment that I'm in here, right? With nice monitoring and years of experience. And then you put a music video out where you're like spending all this money on it, and they don't care about that. Like, oh, this kid's hot. Like, and I know you guys have been sold this idea that like all people care about right now and labels care about is the numbers you're doing. And it's just absolutely not true. You guys have to do more research and do better research. That is 100% false. I don't know where that idea came from, and I think there were probably a few years in the music industry where that's all labels really did care about. They were trying to make a quick buck and have a write-off for the taxes, right? Like if someone went viral on TikTok or they went viral on YouTube, they want to sign them. But what company doesn't, right? So what? Big deal. Do you want to be a one-off? Do you want to be signed by some label that's going to give you a small advance that you're going to not be able to handle anyway, make a record or two and then get dropped or shelved or, you know, like probably not if you actually love music. If you love music, you want to make better music. You want to make the music that like you play and you feel something and you get excited about. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to cry or laugh. You want to share it with the world and you're proud of it. You're excited to share it with your mom, your dad, your family, your friends, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, your dog, your lizard. You want to share it with everybody because you fucking love it. Like you can't handle how good it is. And you're like, I can't believe I made this. You have to focus on that. Focus on your music. That's what this is, the music business. And I think that people are getting lost. They're getting lost in the sauce. They're bottling up all their shit. They're listening to guys on YouTube telling you to bot all this stuff. Guys that really don't have very much success in the music business. They signed a couple publishing deals so they think they can go online and tell you, this is how you run up your shit. Like, get out of here. Why don't you just make better music? Anyway, I digress. That's the podcast. That's what it's about. Pop stars, rock stars. I think that whole idea and that mentality is pretty much dead. It's dead and gone by now. I can't say that that there's any sort of mystique behind it anymore. You know, you see Justin Bieber on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know. I don't really follow Justin Bieber, but you see these pop stars, rock stars, and they just don't have the glamour and the glitz that they used to have, right? So now there's literally a handful of bands and groups and people that could go on a world tour and sell out stadiums, like 30,000 people stadium kind of vibes, and do it for multiple nights in a row. Very, very, very few. Like really, you can name them like off your 10 hands. And that really hasn't changed in the last like decade. So just start thinking about that. Do you really think that like that's what you want too? Like try to figure out like, is that what I really want? Or is it that you just want to make music and have fun and make art and create stuff that you love and that you think will be timeless and you want to share it with the world and be yourself and tell your story and talk to people like you're a fucking human being, because you are. And you didn't go to $1 million studio and record every single song you're working on. You didn't actually even spend much money at all on your songs. You don't actually invest much of anything into your music business. And just start being honest with yourself, because I think that's why I started the podcast up again, is because I feel like I myself need to be honest with myself. Like, where are you at, Bradley? Where's Radium at? Where are these people at that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing? Where are the people at that are above me and doing better than me? What are they doing? And I'll tell you, most of them are not making more money in music. They're making more money off of, you know, YouTube, and making more money off of endorsements and TikTok videos and shit. So that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be famous on TikTok or here on YouTube. I want to be famous for nothing. I want to just share my knowledge and make music. And I want to make music that changes people's emotional state. And I want them to be excited about it, to hear that music. And that's the legacy I want to leave. And I want to help people chase that dream for themselves, whatever they want to do in their music and their art. And that's why I'm doing like the Radium Academy, and why I'm doing these videos, and why I do live song reviews on here. You know, you think like I'm making a bunch of money off that stuff, or anybody that thinks like, oh man, you're making a bunch of money, that's why you talk about this stuff. You're fucking high as shit. You don't get into the music business to make a bunch of money. And if you did, I'm so sorry for you. I feel bad for you, right? This is not the right business to make a bunch of money in. If you want to make money, you want to make quick money and a lot of money, there's plenty of other things you could do besides sit on your laptop and try to make a record. All right? That's not to say that you shouldn't, because if you're like me, you have to. Like, I have to sit down and make music. I can't not make music. It's part of who I am. And it is absolutely my love. I love music. I love the creation. I love the technology. I love the plugins. I love the hardware, the gear, the microphones. I fucking love it. I love shooting on a 4K camera and seeing the colors, and like, I'm into it. You know, it's an art form for me. It's a science as well. So if you're like that and you just love that stuff, keep going, regardless if it's paying you or not, right? So hopefully you guys get something out of this. Just pull your head out of your ass. Stop faking it till you make it. Because if you keep faking it till you make it, all you're going to do is just not make it. You're going to be a fake-ass dude, fake-ass woman, fake-ass binary, fake-ass whatever, you know? So just be careful with this stuff. Don't lie to yourself. You can lie to a lot of people and get it, slip those little lies under people's, you know, Instagram. You can lie to people. Like here on YouTube, you can look a certain way, you know? On a podcast, you can sound a certain way, cool or whatever. But the truth is you can't lie to yourself. You know. When you go to bed at night, you're like, fuck, I didn't make any money today off my music. And that's okay, but just don't lie to yourself. All right? And you like this, subscribe to the channel. I do these podcasts every week. We got a lot of different content that we do. Plugin of the week, talk about plugins we love. We got the mix series where I talk about different mix techniques and stuff I do in mixing, because I do a lot of mixing. Been doing it for 22 years, right? So you guys subscribe, like, comment, do all the YouTube stuff and help us out. Build the channel, share this with other people that need to hear this, get them to pull their heads out of their asses and, you know, work and be humble, not in like the belittle sort of sense, but like be humble in the sense of like, if you know where you're at, you know where you're at. Keep going after your dream, but be honest with yourself. All right. See you guys later.